So I've worked with young people for a really long time, and one of the most potent times of their lives is when they are moving from high school into college, because they're learning to be an adult for the first time in their lives. And honestly, there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that. And one of the things that I have found that has made the most success in my life was finding mentors. So my question is for you. Do you have a mentor? What is up, Yoshis? My name is Beth and I run Steadfast, Ascent, and mentorship is across the board one of the most powerful ways to grow as a person, period. Which is why Jesus implemented the model of discipleship, which is where you have one person who has more experience teaching another person who has less experience, and together they are following the example of the man with the most experience, which is Christ himself. And in so doing, we stack it so that we all become more like Jesus, right? And I have long thought of the church in the structure of Star Wars' Jedi, right? Because there's you and me, and we're like Jedi Knights, you know, like we've had some experience, there's a lot of us, but there's a master council above us, and there's individual masters probably teaching us directly. But then also, if we're like actually growing and we're actually becoming better people, then we also have Padawans beneath us. So at every point, and no matter where you are in the chain, you're always in the middle. There's always someone who's above you teaching you, and you're always teaching someone below you who's coming up behind you. And this, again, makes the most sense in the Christian discipleship sense, but it also makes sense in every other way you could possibly imagine. Want to get better at music? You should find a mentor. Want to get better at production? You should find a mentor. Want to become better at any of the soft skills required to lead a congregation? You probably already have a mentor if that's the thing you actually want to do, but you should have a mentor. As a young person, you're like, nah, man, I want to find people my own age. Like, I don't want to find friends with soccer moms and, you know, pastors who've been doing their thing for however long, right? Like, you want peers, but let me tell you, you will not find near as much growth with just a bunch of other Jedi Knights. Even if you are awesome, and you are a knight and you have taken on a Padawan, you've got someone learning underneath you, because, you know, there's no better way to learn than to teach. You're missing out if you don't have a mentor. If you haven't sought out someone who looks like they're living a life, the kind of life that you want to live, you really need to find these kinds of people. Because if science is right, and you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, well then, don't you want to be spending your time with people who are already good at the things you want to get good at doing? Just think about that for a second, okay? I mean, there is literally no part of your life that you can't benefit from having a mentor in. So the point isn't to find someone older than you, the point is to find someone who has a skill or who has the kind of life that you want to live, and to learn from them and to get close to them and to ask them for help and to bounce your ideas off of them so that you can grow. With that being said, I'd like to share with you some of the people that I consider my mentors, even though we don't have a direct relationship. Obviously, a direct relationship is the best, but this is the 21st century, which means that we have the opportunity to not only find the people in our spaces, which, by the way, as someone who lives in rural America, don't let the idea that there's no one around stop you from looking for real people in your place, because it turns out that people are fascinating, and wherever there is more than a couple hundred of them, there is likely someone who could possibly be a mentor to you in that area. We don't really have any sound studios in Casper, but there are so many random people that I have met just because I want to get better at doing sound who do sound. You are probably not as limited as you think you are going to be. But anyway, so some of the internet mentors, the people who I consider mentors even though they have no personal relationship with me. Chris Bradley, this woman, so much about business, so much about music, so much about production, so much about creativity, actually. I'm just so grateful to you, madame, for putting so much great content out on the internet. You have made my life a better place. Thank you so much. Another fantastic place to learn about music and doing all the things is Musician with a Mission. I actually bought this guy's Udemy course on Logic, and wow, if I had started with someone actually teaching me the best way to do things, I would not have such a mess in my computer hard drive as I do. Now, don't get me wrong. It's awesome to, just learn as you go, and it's one of the best ways to learn is to just jump in feet first and see if you even like it, and then piece together all of the information, because that's one of the things that makes you super unique in your approach to things. But having some structured lessons is real nice, y'all. Speaking of someone with structured lessons, Nathan Larson produces some of the most helpful Logic tutorials I have ever seen, and just songwriting tips on YouTube, hands down, the best that I have found. I mean, Who are you watching these days to learn this stuff? Like, let me know. I'd love to check them out and see more and learn more about these things and find out how it happens and learn the things with the things. I think it's great. But these three people are my music mentors. Even though I don't have a personal relationship with them, because they are sharing their information, I am able to say, you are a master at this craft. I want to learn from you, and then approach it with that in mind. Like, I am coming to you to learn something. Whether you're moving from high school into college, or whether you're just a normal person like me who needs more friends, or who wants to become a better person, or who wants to learn a skill, we should all find some mentors. And it doesn't hurt to pick up a couple of, learners along the way to follow behind us so that we can learn more and they can learn more and we can all stand on each other's shoulders and get to a further place. Who are the mentors in your life? I want to know. Tell us more about it. And I would just like to thank you so very much for watching.